Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most clever and brutal early fights in Demon Slayer, the surprise attack by Susamaru and Yahaba. This one is all about tactics, so let's get right into it.
The entire fight kicks off with this one terrifyingly playful question. It's not some big declaration of war, it's a taunt that comes just as a building is literally being ripped to shreds. You couldn't ask for a better line to set the tone for what's about to happen.
So, let's picture the scene, right? Tanjiro and Nezuko are in what they think is a totally secure safe house. I mean, it's concealed by demonic arts. They should be invisible. But then, out of nowhere, the whole place just explodes.
And then we meet our attackers, Susamaru and Yahaba. You can tell right away they're total opposites. Susamaru is all chaotic energy, and Yahaba is super uptight and obsessed with cleanliness. But they have one thing in common. They were sent by the big boss himself, Koketsu, to hunt down a demon slayer with some very specific earrings.
And here's the first big shock. The weapon of mass destruction isn't some crazy spell. It's a toy ball, a Temari ball. But Tanjiro knows something is very, very wrong. He says the scent of these demons is, quote, stronger, thicker, heavy inside my lungs. He knows, deep down, that this is a whole other level of enemy.
Okay, so this is where the fight gets really interesting. It stops being about just pure power and turns into a tactical puzzle. The heroes have to figure out how these demons are literally breaking the laws of physics.
And here's the combo that makes them so deadly. You've got Susamaru, who's the visible threat, hurling these super dense Temari balls that hit like cannonballs. And then you have Yahaba, the quiet one, providing all the invisible tactical control. They are a terrifyingly effective team.
This is the question that's scrambling Tanjiro's brain. He hits him with his fastest move, the 7th form, but the ball just zags. It changes direction in midair with no warning, no spin, nothing. It just does it. He knows there's a trick to it, but for the life of him, he can't see what it is.
And there it is, the secret sauce. They're not just fighting one demon throwing a ball. They're fighting a two-part attack. The Temari ball is just the bullet. It's Yahaba's invisible Koketsu arrows that are acting like a guidance system, steering it wherever he wants with perfect precision. One creates the chaos, the other aims it.
Okay, so how in the world do you fight something like that? Well, this is where the tide turns. It's not about hitting harder. It's about thinking smarter. The second our heroes start to understand what's happening, they can actually start to fight back.
And this is the game changer. Yushiro, who really didn't like Tanjiro at first, makes a huge tactical decision. He uses his own blood demon art to basically sync his vision with Tanjiro's. And just like that, Tanjiro can finally see the invisible arrows that have been running the whole show.
And this is just classic Tanjiro. His tactical mind goes into overdrive. In just a few seconds, he cooks up this 3-step plan. He sees the arrows, he realizes he can't block them, they're too strong, so he thinks, okay, if I can't fight the current, I'll just have to ride it.
I mean, how brilliant is this? He completely improvises on the spot. He mashes up 2 of his water-breathing forms to create something totally new, a move that lets him wrap his sword around the arrow's momentum and use its own force to slingshot himself right at his enemy. He's literally weaponizing their own power against them.
But right when you think Tanjiro's finally got a handle on things, the entire context of the fight just gets flipped on its head. Susamaru gets a little cocky, and what she says next raises the stakes to a whole new level.
Yep, she just drops that bombshell. With all the arrogance in the world, she reveals that they aren't just any demons. They're part of the 12 Kazuki, the most elite group of demons in existence.
So let's be clear about what this means. Tanjiro hasn't been fighting regular demons. He's been fighting the demonic equivalent of the special forces. These are the 12 strongest demons, period. Each one powered up with a huge amount of Kibutsuji's own blood.
That number, 12, changes everything. Remember the demons from his final selection? Child's play compared to this. The 12 Kazuki are the absolute top of the food chain, and Tanjiro just found out he's standing face-to-face with 2 of them.
So with this massive revelation, the goal of the fight completely shifts. It's not just about getting out of this alive anymore.
For Tanjiro, yeah, survival is still pretty high on the list. But for Lady Tamayo, the demon doctor, the arrival of 2 of the 12 Kazuki is, well, it's like a twisted Christmas present. It's the exact opportunity she's been waiting for.
See, Tamayo's entire life's work is to find a cure for demonism. And to do that, she needs blood from the most powerful demons she can get her hands on. Demons with a lot of Kibutsuji's DNA.
And now, 2 of them have just conveniently shown up right on her doorstep.
This request just lights a fire under Tanjiro. Suddenly, his fight isn't just defensive anymore. It becomes a proactive hunt. Now, he doesn't just have to beat these incredibly powerful demons. He has to beat them and somehow manage to get a blood sample for the cure.
So, at the end of the day, this fight makes you ask a really interesting question. What actually wins a battle like this? The demons had this unbelievable physics-bending power on their side, but the heroes won. They won because they saw the invisible, they adapted in the heat of the moment, and they turned their enemy's greatest strength into a weapon. It's a perfect lesson in strategy beating raw power.